Good morning, beloveds. So I want to begin by asking a question. How many of you are an acolyte? Yeah, I was trained as an acolyte when I was very young, maybe 7 years old or so. I think many of you were also. Do you remember why we bring in the flame and why we carry it out at the end of worship? We do this because this flame is a sign of God's presence with us. God's light is with us and is moving through the whole world. And this light helps us remember that. A little later in worship, Pastor Rachel is going to lead a time of prayer where we're all invited to light candles and to say aloud the names of those whom we love who have died. And we light these candles as a sign of their light with us. That all that they are, all that we love about them, all that we're grateful for, their light is with us. And so we light these candles. So I wanted to take a moment. I know that some of you have shared with me before that maybe on a grandparent's birthday or on other special days, you take time with your family to light a candle at home, and maybe you have a special place at a table or maybe above a fireplace or somewhere where you light those candles and you spend time remembering them. And so I wanted to show you a special place in my home where I have an altar for those who I love who have died, and to just think together about different ways that we can continue to be in relationship with our dear ones who have gone, how we can continue to honor and celebrate their life and all the different ways that their light lives in us. So why don't you come and spend some time with me at my altar. So one of the ways that we can honor our dead is to create an altar. And this is a special place where you can come to be with them, to be with your dear ones. And there are lots of different ways that you might build an altar, like we've talked about before. You might put photos of your beloveds on the altar, photos that capture their spirit and what you love about them. You can see that I have photos here of my father and of my first minister, who was a dear mentor to me, and of some of my dear friends who I have lost. And you can see, you might also want to put some items on the altar that maybe they belong to your dear ones who have gone, or maybe they just remind you of them and of their spirit. I have all these different pieces of glass art that my father made at the altar, and shells, remembering how connected we are to the water and to the earth. And this might be when you come to your altar, you might gather here and you could write a letter to your dear ones, to be in conversation with them. And you could put that at your altar. Sometimes I leave a letter in this communion cup and make an offering. And you can see I lit a candle here as a sign of all of their light, all of their love living on in this world through me and all around in all of the beauty that they created in the world. So I just invite you in this time to also think about how you would want to create space, or maybe you already have created space, and how you want to spend more time there, being with all of our community who has now become ancestors. So will you pray with me, beloveds? Holy One, we bring to you all of our beloveds who live on in spirit and light, in the sounds of waves crashing and traffic noise, we remember them. And in the blue sky and in the warmth of summer, we remember them. In our sadness and in our joy, we remember them. And we lift them up to you, saying the prayer that your Son Jesus taught us. Our Creator, who art in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.